Let's talk about Fortnite first because two reasons. One, they obviously had their Galactus event today, which another huge event by Fortnite. But Fortnite changing its subscription model, or at least adding to its subscription model. And this is the question I have. How much are you willing to pay for a free-to-play game? That's really the question I have. How much are you willing to pay for a free-to-play game? And what I mean by that is if you have a game that is only determined by skill, there's no pay to win, and it's free to play, how much can they charge for content? Part of me wants to say it shouldn't ever be limited, but now we have a new subscription model. New season of Fortnite, $11.99 a month. US, get you 1,000 V-Bucks, and you can become part of the Fortnite crew. You get an exclusive character skin and gear, access to the current season's battle pass, which is usually 950 V-Bucks, so like $10. I support Radio 8. Love it. I love it. I love that the clip, by the way, is motionless because it's almost emotionless, which is what Microsoft Dave did. Shout out Dave. But you also get, this is the thing that kills me. And this is why I think Epic is the most annoying game company ever and the most brilliant. So, along with getting the Battle Pass, the V-Bucks, the exclusive character skin and gear, you get access to cosmetics available only to Fortnite crew members. So you have access to a shop that's exclusive to you as a crew member. And that all kicked off today at 4 p.m. Eastern time for Chapter 2, Season 5. So I asked the question, how much is too much? Is this bad for gaming? I don't know. I think if you keep everything cosmetic, it's probably fine. But who's to say that that is the case? Especially now that we have this rift between Apple and Epic that has not ended yet, right? That hasn't gone away. That's been going on longer than the fake recounts. Fine is fine is fine. Fine is fine is fine. But I do like the idea of exclusivity. I think in any environment, in a retail environment, in a gaming environment, in an anything environment, when you deal with giving people an exclusive access to something, even if it's the opportunity to pay for something. Like back when I was a season ticket member for the Tampa Bay Lightning, they would offer sales that were only exclusive to season ticket members. Like you had access to commemorative items that you could not buy in the regular store. Wasn't an option. You couldn't buy them. You could buy them if you were a, platinum tier season ticket member. But if you were a silver tier season ticket member, you couldn't even buy those items, right? You had to be in this tier to get these things and the access to buy more things. So just consumerism at its finest, right? Are we getting to the online pass in the MTX world now? Kind of, right? Kind of. Although that opens up the door of GTA 5 being a $60 paywall to have access to GTA Online, right? Which is kind of crazy. But this obviously free-to-play game. I remember why EA did it. Let me go back to that because I wrote a whole friggin' article on this way back in the day when I was a journalist. I get it. Stick with me on this of why I thought it was a good idea. And if it wasn't for GameStop being ass clowns, we probably would still have it, which is probably not the best idea now, but probably was a good idea back then. EA Access, before it was called EA Access, the original EA Access was a $10 pass that came inside games that gave you the access to play the game online. In order to get online, you needed the Access Pass, $10. It came included in new games. EA realized a lot of people were buying third-party games. $0 go to developers when you buy a used game at GameStop, Best Buy, Walmart, third party, whatever. So they added a $10 pass that only worked one time. So that pass, when you traded your game in, didn't work anymore. So then GameStop sold those passes separate for $10. What GameStop would do is typically sell a used game of a newer title for $55 instead of $60 USD. But if you bought the used game, you still had to pay for the pass, which was $10. You combine that on top of GameStop admittingly and knowingly telling associates to not sell new copies of games and to sell the used copy, charged people $65 to play the same game that they could buy for $60 at any other retailer. Not the best business practice. When Xbox and Sony got word of this was around the same time that they were starting to kick around the idea of a digital Xbox One and a digital PS4. GameStop said, that's what we're going to do. Xbox and Sony said, okay, well, we'll go digital. And I have on good authority can tell you that at that time, GameStop turned around and said, okay, if you do that, we'll pull consoles out of all of our stores. At the time, GameStop had over 7,700 GameStops in the world, I think maybe in the US. They could not afford to lose that many retail outlets for those consoles, so they said, okay, never mind, right? That's where all of this started. All of it. So how do we cycle forward to where we are now from that? Well, now we have online access passes to things that are free to play. It makes me wonder if in the future we are going to see a digital online pass that's a microtransaction. Like you get the DLC, and depending on how you got the DLC, you need a pass to play. I don't think we'll see it. I really don't. Yeah, you're right on GTA 5. It's what? I've seen it as low as $15, $20 in some places. Like it's a $60 retail game that is never actually $60 anymore, right? So there's that. We'll see the next iteration of GTA Online be split. I think so. I think GTA 6 is just going to be an online game. I really do believe that. I think we've seen the end of their like cinematic game, because look how much money they're making. Look how much money Rockstar is pulling in from online. It's insane. Billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, right? It is unnerving how much they're making online. Yeah. I'm just trying to think of like the worlds. It'll be separate completely, like you said, but I think, yeah, like you just said, online will be the main focus, and that will be where they go. All the content updates are going to go into there. That's where we're going to see all of their focus and attention and add-ons and funny, like, good Lord, the amount of money people spend in GTA Online is insane to me. I thought people were crazy with Pokemon cards back in the day. I thought people were crazy with skins in Fortnite. No. It is solely GTA Online. These kids buy shark cards like they're going out of style. Just to buy the latest $8 million tank. Like, I don't get it. I've never gotten it. I've been playing these games for a long time. It doesn't make any sense. But man, they kill it. They kill it. They absolutely do. You can buy a yacht, but a yacht could be anything. It could even be a yacht. It's just nuts. But $11.99 a month. So $12 a month gets you access to basically an exclusive store. $10 for free as part of the subscription. the Battle Pass, which is kind of nice. That's an extra $10. You get a lot of value, but I guess they're subsidizing the value in the effort that you'll spend more money in their store to get there. All cores enabled. People spend a lot of money on CSGO skins too. Boy, do they. I'm an old school Counter-Strike player. This brings back a lot of memories because I remember Counter-Strike 1.4. My Steam account is, 17 years old, we discovered last month, October 5th, 2003. I have down there somewhere, I don't know where the hell it is, but down there somewhere, I'd have to dig it up. It's down there somewhere. The Counter-Strike Half-Life original CD from Sierra. Not Valve, Sierra Entertainment. I played it from there to 1.5 to Source to now what we have with CSGO. The amount of dedication that they've created, the amount of loyal people that nobody talks about, which is insane to me. Nobody talks about how prolific not only Counter-Strike, but Team Fortress 2 is and has been to the microtransaction world, to the loot box world. You can blame everything that we have right now on two entities, and none of them are EA. You can blame them on Valve and Gabe Newell for being crazy, and you can blame them on the consumer behavior of supporting a third-party market for console. You really can. I guess tertiarily, you can blame it on GameStop for exploiting that second point at least. But to point of loot boxes and crates and in-game markets and all of that stuff, that is completely and utterly Valve at its heart. I remember the hats in Team Fortress 2. I put so many thousands of hours into Team Fortress 2. Might have had a couple of extra accounts on the side playing that game. You know, my brother would play all the time and give me all of his crates, and we would open them up, and $2.49 a key to open a box to get something that you didn't know what you're going to get. Oh, my God, dude. Yo. I sold most of my stuff on Team Fortress 2. I don't think I have most of it left, but I had a lot of stuff. I had a couple of G's worth of stuff on my Team Fortress 2 account, like legit. I remember it, man. The hats were crazy, and the specials, and all the design. Oh my God, the different crates the crates themselves were worth money, Judge. The actual crates you could sell for $100 because it might have the thing inside the box. It might have it. You could sell it. Some crates were like 2 cents. You could buy those all day long. Other ones, $100. I saw some crates going for $700 sold, selling, actual completed retail price, $700. I don't understand it. I used to be on those trading sites, the key trading, like 8 keys for this item, 12 keys for this item. I did that all day long. Scrap for keys. I would scrap for keys all day. 2 items together, make a scrap, 3 scraps for a key. I remember when back in my day, I remember when scraps were 3 scraps for a key. Then they went up to like 8.5 per key, and I was like, whoa. Then they were like 16 per key. I was like, what is happening with inflation? This was like 2014. What is happening? Pixie, the market, you think gaming is bad now. If you were around for Team Fortress 2, the market was nuts. You traded. This is real. Let me make sure I'm very clear on this. This is not a joke. I know sometimes I joke in like hyperbole of real things. No, this is real. If you wanted to buy a game on Steam, you could trade your scrap in Team Fortress 2 for keys that would unlock crates. You could trade those keys to somebody else for real money that they would drop into your account or get you a Steam gift card. So you could buy a game on the Steam marketplace or DLC or anything else you wanted just by playing a free-to-play game all day long. That's how I have most of my games on Steam. I would play Team Fortress 2, trade it up for scrap, turn it into keys, swap out my keys, 20K rep. This is what I'm saying. Current price of keys is 59 refined. Oh my God. Refined metal. So you would take scrap metal, you would turn it into refined metal. You would trade the refined metal for the keys. Then you take keys and you can buy things you could trade. Like you could open up the marketplace, go to like Nookazon. You could do like Nookazon on Animal Crossing, but for like every item in Team Fortress 2 or every item like period. Like any item in Steam. Like if somebody had a Steam game that you never bought and they had an item you wanted in the game, and then suddenly you got the game for Christmas and you wanted that item that, you know, they didn't sell anymore because now maybe the new season came out or whatever, or it was a timed exclusive, you could trade your Team Fortress 2 keys for that item and you could have the item. All within Steam's game system. So you didn't have to go to a third-party website. You would go to the third-party websites to find the buyer and seller, and they'd be vetted, and you could make sure that they were legit. You'd come back to the game, and you'd make the trade. Sometimes, and I did this for a while, you'd have a middleman when it was like high-dollar items. Judge, the cost of these keys are $250. So back in the day, I remember it wasn't it wasn't that much. It wasn't 59 refined metals. It was like 8, 8.5. Like it wasn't a lot. Now it's crazy. But you literally could just spend your day getting random drops. And the way you got the items, Pixie, is you just play the game and they would just give you an item. It would either be a crate or it'd be like a weapon or a cosmetic or like a whatever. And if you had it, and there was thousands of items, you would randomly get drops the more you played. They eventually put a cap on it. And then they would eventually, sounds like when I shoot balloons and a grand piano comes out of it. Remind me to go back to that story in just a second because something happened today that's going to make you literally spit out a drink laughing. I promise you. So then you would just play the game. You'd get random items just like that. And you could either use the item or scrap it. Or you could trade it. Or you could sell it. You weren't supposed to sell it. It was illegal to sell it, but people still did it anyway. But you could trade it. So if you just happen to trade it for like 28 keys, 28 times 250, now your item is worth, $65, which you can go buy a game with. See? That's how it worked. All from playing a free-to-play game. All from playing a free-to-play game on Steam way back in the day. Big brain shit right there. So now we're monetizing access to that, and that's just insane to me. And all of that is because of Steam. All of it. The cosmetics, there's just everything about it is all because of Steam. It's insane.